Hey, and welcome back to another session of Motivation WOD. I'm laying on my back on what is a Minnie Mouse blanket. Belongs to one of my kids. I am working on internal rotation of the shoulder, my left shoulder right now, as a part of today's Mobility WOD. If you don't know anything about Mobility WOD, check it out at mobilitywod.com. It is authored and led by CrossFit extraordinaire coach Kelly Starrett. But anyway, as I was laying here, I was thinking about the Limbic System 1 video that I posted, I guess about a week and a half ago, maybe, or 2 weeks. The basic idea of the limbic system is that it is the center of the brain, the piece of the brain that connects the right side and the left side, and its main function is to kick in the survival mode. So whenever a person does not feel safe, or a person is going hungry, or a person is experiencing sexual drive or desire, the limbic system takes over. And these are all issues of not feeling normal. Okay, the need for food, the need for safety, and the need for sex. I am not normal until I find what I need in these three areas. And the issue of safety is deeply, deeply emotional. It has to do with things like depression and anger and loneliness and anxiety, all kinds of deep negative emotional things that happen because for whatever reason we just don't feel normal. And so we look for safety, but the reason or the things we feel are loneliness, we feel anxious, we feel anger, we feel depressed, things like this. And so we find ways to cope. And the same thing with food. We're hungry, and the only way to cope is to eat. And for some of us, we desire certain types of food, especially when we're coping with safety issues. So if I'm dealing with depression, there are certain foods that the limbic system will drive me to based on my own unique personality. As well as sexual things. If my sexual drive is kicking in, then hopefully I find a healthy way to relieve that urge. Here's how it applies to us as athletes. Individually, we need to know ourselves so that we know what kinds of things in our lives sabotage our efforts to be great human beings, superhuman beings who are excellent physically and excellent mentally and spiritually. This is why understanding the limbic system is important, because you have your own survival mechanisms, your own survival techniques that have been ingrained in you since you were a child. Okay, these things start when you're 2 years old. When you start to realize that the world is an unsafe place, you begin to learn how to cope with not feeling safe or not eating, and later as you grow older it becomes not experiencing love or sexual experience. You must figure out what this is for yourself and start investigating why you feel the way you feel when you feel negative things like anger, depression, loneliness, anxiety. There's a long list. Any type of stressful situation in which you are no longer yourself, you've got to figure out why these things threaten you, why you feel uncomfortable, and look at your history, look through your memories, and find out where the first negative experience of these things perhaps started. This will also help us remain consistent as athletes, because on a day-to-day basis we have got to attack those WODs. We've got to be sure about what we're doing when it comes to our food and when it comes to our state of mind. And these are two of the main areas that the limbic system has complete control over. So start knowing yourself, be aware of why you do what you do, so you can remain consistent and on the road to being a superhuman. I will try to talk more about the limbic system and how it affects daily life